get this train built.
Well, welcome back once again to the Withlacoochee River Report. The report where you're likely to be highly offended by my compelling rhetoric. Just thought I'd come out here and run a train today. Let y'all know that, well, let's talk about it on the other end of the intro. Well, as you can plainly see, there's hardly anything that ever got done on the railroad over the summer months. And now that summer is officially over, at least according to the calendar, i.e. it's past Labor Day. Labor Day is the last official day of summer, you know. And train show season has officially kicked off, and we've got one coming up on September 13th over here at the Hernando County Fairgrounds. And again, it will be a Regal show with Regal Railways, September 13th. It's a Saturday. And of course, I've been looking forward to it all summer. Been saving my pennies and nickels, dimes and quarters. Haven't made a whole lot of money this summer, so I hope that I can, you know, come up at least with a few things. Like I said, I've been saving my change. I do that every day anyway. My change that I get from buying a soda or whatever, it goes directly into my Coca-Cola bottle bank. And I might have, maybe $100 or so in there, plus what I have left over in road coins from the last show. Now you may be wondering, well, now if I've got all these rolled coins, why I haven't rolled them up already? Well, if I do that, then the temptation is to take it into the bank and convert it to paper money. And if I do that, it'll get spent. So I don't want to do that. But I am definitely looking for it. It's been several months now. May was the last show we were at, and that was in the same place over at the fairgrounds here in Hernando County. So let's see what we can accomplish between now and then, shall we? Welcome back once again to Withlacoochee River Railroad and the Withlacoochee River Report. Well, it's been what, over a month, almost a month since I've made the last one. Things slow down in the summer. I ended up getting a few jobs to work this last few weeks, so that put me in a little bit better shape for the show coming up. Not as good a shape as I'd like to be in. I hope I get some work this week, or, you know, frankly, money's going to be pretty scarce next week. So I hope I have a few things come up. At least 2 to 3 days, maybe 4 days of work. We don't really have any appointments this upcoming week. The week after, we're loaded with appointments. The weeks after, we are loaded up with appointments. So, blasted doctors want to throw a wrench into everything, don't they? Anyway, I'm very much looking forward to the show. I do have some pennies put back. In fact, I should be rolling pennies. I should have been rolling pennies all last month. I might have a few dollars there too. In fact, I know I've got a few dollars. And yeah, I should have been rolling the pennies all along, but I haven't been. So, like I said, I really haven't accomplished as much as I wanted to on the railroad. I wanted to get the switches in and get these other tracks powered up and stuff like that. And, well, things just haven't really happened that way, have they? Yeah, that figures, don't it? Well, that's life. I let life get in the way of a lot of things, including work, which work is important because that's how I get money, you know, over and above my Social Security. Anyway, I figured, what the heck? You know, what are you going to do about it? There just really aren't that many jobs in the area right now. We do get the occasional job where we got to do some debris removal on this construction site or that construction site. And yeah, I was, for about a 4-day week there, I had, or maybe it was only 3 days. I don't remember correctly. I think it was 4 days. Because I worked there one day and then they wanted me back the next. Well, that would have been fine. But we had an appointment that next day, so I couldn't do that. But I ended up going back the following Wednesday and the subsequent 2 days. And then, of course, they haven't needed us back. I guess they decided to go down to one person doing the debris removal, which is not an easy task at all. Not out there. I mean, they're basically overhauling a Publix store. So anyway, I'll be it looks like I might come up a little bit short monetarily on this first show, which is nothing new for me. I'm kind of used to it by now. But I mean, if I have enough rolled coins, you know, I'll come home with some goodies probably. I usually do. Maybe not as many big goodies as I want. I mean, I'm not going to buy every engine in the place. Anyway. That being said, you know, so far so good. We're getting a lot of stuff going on with our, you know, politically speaking. Trump's doing a pretty good job. He's actually, I guess, single-handedly took care of the crime problem in Washington, D.C. And now, of course, Democrats in other states and cities don't want him bringing the National Guard in there. No, because they would take, they want the crime. The crime keeps their narrative alive. And because they're always going to cure the crime, but they never do. You know what I'm saying? In other words, these people want as many people dead as possible. That's just the way it goes. Looks like the tariffs are playing a little bit of havoc. We're learning a little bit about, and I saw there was a video that was put up on YouTube not long ago about shortages, or maybe it wasn't YouTube. It might have been a private company, and they have it on their website or something. But it's about shortages of product, and short, of course, if you're short of raw materials, you're going to be short of product. It looks like they're starting to bitch a little bit. Well, you know, I warned Atlas years ago when they started all their operations in China. I said, "Why China? What's wrong with the United States?" Well, of course, they didn't want to have to deal with the unions. And of course, I understand the political side of it, you know. They really had no incentive. But now, they're going to learn that maybe they do have an incentive. But they'll, you know, now see how are they going to move their molds and everything they shipped over there that were made here in the United States. Now, mind you, I understand why Lionel moved their operations to China. They were looking for a tool and die maker back in the 1990s to make, I guess it was a fairly simple diesel for them, and they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it up to Lionel standards, which is bad. And finally they went over to China, and the Chinese gave them what they wanted. You know, we need more tool and die makers here in the U.S. There are tool and die makers here, but are they able to do the tool and die work to provide the detail and the stuff that, you know, companies like Lionel and Atlas and of course ultimately the end game, the customer themselves want. You know, the thing of it is, the prices didn't go down, you know, because they weren't paying the people over there to build the stuff. Tooling is just as expensive over there as it is over here. So you gotta find that tooling somewhere. And if you can't get somebody here in the United States that can make it, you got to go somewhere to get it done. I think you know, tool and die work can be done in China, and they can bring the molds over here. And at least be employing Americans to operate it. Have a tool and die man on site at your plant to make sure that if anything goes wrong with the mold, that it can be worked on. That sort of thing. You know, and then get our tool and die people over here trained like they should. You see, that's the problem. A lot of your older tool and die makers, they've died off, a lot of them. And of course, there's nobody left in the United States. Well, you know, our government was sitting there giving every incentive to the manufacturer to move their manufacturing offshore. And, I mean, that was a sad thing then. And of course, now the Republicans are starting to be Republicans again, hopefully. We still got a number of rhinos in the House and Senate we need to get rid of. But, you know, you got to replace them with actual, you know, MAGA people. So, you know, because model railroading isn't the only thing out there. You got to understand that, you know, we've got to be able to make a living. We got to be able to use tooling. We got to be able to buy tools. I would love to have nothing more than a nice American-made 3D printer. Say a resin printer. I'd love one of those. I'd also love to have a what do they call it? A laser cutter. You know, something that they cut brickwork and stuff into, like masonite and stuff, and make it, you know, make model building kits out of and stuff like that. I'd love to have that. Can't afford any of that tooling, but I'd love to have some. We'll see what this next year brings. Now, like I said, I don't have too much to report. It's just what I hear in the news and stuff like that. Like I said, I didn't get a lot done out here in the train room like I intended to do for the summer. And summer is officially over now. It's official. We're past Labor Day. You ladies don't be wearing white dresses now. Or that would be a major faux pas. That'd be a major fashion faux pas. Anyway, now that we're going into model train show season again, because now it's September, we got a show this month. We've got stuff coming up in October at Dana's Railroad Supply. We got the model show. And it looks like I might be able to make it to the Lionel show this year. It doesn't look like Joe's going to have the Regal show up in Crystal River. Looks like they're going to have that in like October. So, and that's a good thing. We may go ahead and go to it in October. And I don't remember whether it's going to be on the same day that Dana's having his show or not. But it's nice to have a show coming up. Now, are we going to make any money at it? Probably not going to make much. I would like to, but probably not going to make much at this show. Never do on the first 2 or 3 shows. At Dana's, we're getting a little tired of going to Dana's and have nothing happening monetarily. So I haven't had anything to restock with. I haven't been able to restock anything, even if it did come up. I haven't been able to restock. So, you know, I don't know how many, you know, if I sell out at this first show, I won't have anything for the next show. So I'll be over there bugging my friends at the next show at Dana's. Hey, what you got? What you got? What you got? Anyway, and hopefully business will pick up and I can, you know, make a little bit of money in there through this next winter season, through the next old fart season, and be able to get some new stuff. Maybe get this railroad built a little bit better. I noticed that when the temperatures are beginning to stabilize a little bit. Of course, we're still right at the height of the hurricane season here, so we have that going on. And really all we can look forward to there is hopefully they don't come to us. I have my opinions on whether we have government people out there actually controlling the weather a little bit. Yeah, I know. Somebody will sit there and tell me humans can't control the weather. No, but they can manipulate it. Hey, how else do you think it is that we get hit by a hurricane just before election time about every August, September, October? And we always have one that rips right up and goes right through the most conservative parts of our state. We'll see what happens in 26, okay? Right now, we're still in 25. So far, most of the hurricanes coming, or most of the tropical depressions coming across the Atlantic aren't really headed our way, but, you know, that could always change. And we hope it changes. We hope we don't run into a bad one that just happens to hit us. It's a fear we always have to live with, though, here in Central Florida. we haven't had last year when Milton came through, it was almost a direct hit on Tampa Bay. As it was, it hit just south of Tampa Bay between Bradenton and Sarasota. Which is just as bad for them. It didn't hit us. I mean, it hit us, but you know, it was more halfway across the state by the time it came up to our latitude. So all we can do is hope for the best, and hopefully we can make it through this season. It's best we can do. Hopefully I can make a little money this fall and winter and be able to buy some cool new stuff and enjoy the hobby a little bit more. You know, in the past few years, I've noticed that instead of building so much, I have this nasty tendency to just want to acquire it. You know, while I'd love to acquire a bunch of Woodland Scenics buildings or even a few of the Menards buildings, I can't afford them because they're so damn high in price. About the only way I can afford anything like that is if it's dirt cheap at a train show. And sometimes it is. Sometimes it isn't. Anyway, I do have some stuff for sale in this room here where I'll go ahead and it's I've got a couple of buildings for sale, believe it or not. I've got a Rico station I need to sell, and I've got that Lionel station I need to sell. So I may just go ahead and sell those. I'm going to want a little more money than I put into them, though. Anyway, until next time, after the crew change here at Brookridge, they're ready to go. Until next time, happy railroading.